My Other Self, Chapter 8, Avoidance of Sin, Section 7, The Crucifixion. Father, forgive them. Luke 23:34. Your Lord stands on trembling legs, awaiting. His head is bowed, his strength is gone. Only the will remains indomitable. They take the beam from Simon and lay it on the ground. The final act has begun. They tear his garments from his body. His clothing is glued to his back, his shoulders, his thighs and legs, his arms, even his chest. It has become embedded in the raw wounds and dried blood. When they rip off the garments, every sore is opened anew. Pieces of flesh are torn from his body. Doctors have written about the agony he must have suffered, about the violent shudder that racked his body, wondering that he did not faint from shock and pain. What they imagine, I see with my eyes. His executioners lay him on the cross, stretch out his arms and mark the spots for the nails. They seize his hand, holding it firm. The spike is touched to his wrist. The raised hammer falls and the nail penetrates his flesh. They drive it fast. Yes, my child, doctors writing of this have told you how his thumb, with a spasmodic movement, strikes against the palm of his hand. They know what this means. The great nerve center in the wrist has been touched. An indescribable flame of pain has shot up through his arm, bursting like a firebomb in his brain. They have told you that the nerve is not completely cut, only ripped, so that the raw nerve itself remains pressed against the spike, leaving this unbearable agony to be repeated over and over with every movement, no matter how slight, and this goes on for hours. Doctors have written about what they saw in imagination. You could not bear it if I told you what my eyes beheld. But this I will tell you. Horrible as this physical torment, it is not the worst of my son's agony. Mental agony is worse. Mental agony that, later on, will bring from his lips the psalm of desolation. My God, why do you abandon me? They stretch out his other arm, place the nail, poise the hammer. I saw his face contorted with inexpressible pain a moment ago. I cannot bear to watch it again. But I cannot help hearing the sounds of torture. They have stopped the hammering. They are lifting him to his feet, raising the beam to which his arms are nailed. I know nothing of nerve centers but agony. That I know. Undiluted pain, convulsive torment. They move him back against the upright stake which they have fastened securely in the ground. They help him climb the stake until, with a sudden effort, they are able to place the beam on top of the upright. If you could see how his body sags, how it pulls on the poor pierced wrists, how his head drops forward. Bending his knees so that his feet are flat against the upright, they nail him fast. Must I go on to the end? Have you not seen and heard enough? Do you see the huge spikes through his wrists and feet? Do you note the torn knees, the countless lacerations, the great welt on his shoulder, the crown of thorns running into and through his scalp, the puffed lips, the swollen nose? Do you see how the flies settle in his sores? How slowly he turns his poor, tired head from side to side, like a great heaviness that he cannot move only by inches and with great effort. He prays, Father, forgive them. He forgives too. I assure you, this very day you will be with me in paradise. He bequeaths, Mother, this is your son, and to John, this is your mother. You are now my child. I am your mother. He looks at me. Often has he given me his eyes in these 30 years and more, but never has he given them to me more tenderly. Do not think that his words come easily. Each time he speaks he must raise himself. He must draw air into his lungs, air to breathe and air to speak. He pushes his pierced wrists and feet against the nails, holds himself erect, knowing the shooting pains, reliving all the agony. And note that in his torment, his words, his thoughts, his prayers are first of all for others. Only when he has heard their pleas, spoken and unspoken, does he say, "Why do you abandon me?" and "I am thirsty." Now one last time he draws himself erect. With a great shout he cries in triumph, "It is now completed. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." The sacrifice, the ransom, the Mass is over. And I am glad to hold his lifeless body in my arms. He has suffered, never to suffer again. He has suffered for love of his Father. For him he stretched himself out on the cross. For him he laid down his life to magnify the Father, to glorify the Father, to win countless souls for his Father. He has given to God the complete submission of the human will that men refused. He has satisfied divine justice by making exact return of that which man and woman have stolen from the Almighty. My child, give yourself to him. Open your heart to his love. Unite your will with his, so that in all the world there may be but one will, one love, the will and love of the loving Christ.